Well, good afternoon, team. Today is the 3rd of July, 2020. It's a Friday, so TGIF out there. So, it is Independence Day Eve, and I'm on day 5 of my suicide awareness challenge. So we are off today, so that's yesterday we talked about hunt the good stuff. So that's one thing that I have appreciated about being in the military. So I'm able to be off today, and despite all the COVID stuff that's going on, the email traffic and the things that typically keep us very busy on the weekends is a little bit slower today. So you can hear the birds are singing. I'm taking a little walk out here in Alabama. It's pretty hot already. But it is summertime in the South, so that's the way things go. So let's see. One of the things I want to talk about a little bit today is I've been mentioning the military crisis line. So I have another option for some of you. If any of you know Major General Mark Graham, I knew him as when he was the G3 for FORCECOM, and I was the G3 for Southeast Region Medical Command at that time. And but he is also, he had 2 sons. One was in ROTC, and one was already a lieutenant. And his son was one of his sons was killed in Iraq, and another one of his sons committed suicide. So he has gone through a lot there. And there's a podcast that I'll put down in the link below that you can hear about Major General Graham's and how they've dealt with it. But one of the best things that he has done, and he's been very passionate about it, and he's set up another option for people, is the Vets for Warrior. So you can go to the website. It's Vets for Warrior. So it's vets for the number 4 warriors.com. Their number is very similar, so you may want to take this number and program it. It's 855-838-8255, so it's another 8255, so that also comes out to talk. They're, what they really like to do is they like to hire vets. They're actually paid vets, so they've been through a lot of, the issues that if you call them, you may have. So they like to get after the physical, mental, or social challenges before they turn into a crisis. So that's one of my themes that I like to have is if you're starting to notice that you're having any challenges, whether it's financial, emotional, physical, relationship, whatever the risk factors that you possess, call these guys. I mean, they can get you some help, and they will help follow through. And, so give that an option. Again, that's 855-838-8255. So it's, again, right up the middle, 8255. Program that into your phone. Give them a call. Another thing that I also want to talk about are triggers. So quite a while ago, I deployed to Iraq. I was selected to go to the long-term ILE, but my name came up for an ACRC tour. And because I had a top secret clearance, I had a bunch of other things coming out of 10th group, I was also selected to go to Iraq. Coincidentally, at that time, it seemed like my life was sort of falling apart. My relationships, had a new baby, and my relationship there was pretty bad. So I'm deployed there. I'm at a brand new unit. I'm an active component with some reservists. That turned out to be a challenge, but I had some really great battle buddies. I had a great roommate. I had a lot of other things. So all that worked out probably as good as can be expected. I still have a great relationship with my daughter. We're always working on that type of a thing. But when I came back, one of the things I noticed, which I thought was a little unusual, was that I had a little bit of a different reaction to fireworks. So when I was a kid, growing up in Utah, in central Utah. I grew up in a small town called Orem, which was right next to Provo, Utah. And Brigham Young University had a very spectacular firework display. And because Orem is a little bit higher than Provo, sometimes I remember even going to the extreme of climbing up on your roof so that you can see the fireworks. And I particularly liked it back in those days. They used to time the fireworks with music. So I thought that was really cool. Nowadays, that's probably nothing. But back in that day, it was pretty neat to be able to listen to a radio with patriotic music and watching the fireworks. And I always did think that was very cool. But I noticed when I came back from Iraq, when I'm watching fireworks, I didn't have the same experience. One of the things that, was one of the threats that we had there in Iraq was a lot of incoming mortars, indirect fire, stuff like that. So I do remember that when those fireworks were going off, they weren't as cool as I remembered them to be before. So that was just something that I remember as a trigger that sometimes sets some stuff up. But let's get after these push-ups. So here we go. Whew. So this actually has been some very good PT for my shoulder. It gets tired from doing even just this many push-ups every day, but I'm learning to do a new form of push-up for the Army ACFT. So anyway, remember that number and check out the website I'll put it in the description down below for those that are seeing it on YouTube. And for the Facebook group, I'll send a separate link there, so that'll be there. Maybe I'll put it in the comments or something like that. But hey, so Independence Eve, everybody. If you haven't reached out to somebody in the last few days, I challenge you to reach out. Send a text, look up an old battle buddy. If you know that you have friends or family, co-workers that you haven't talked to for a while, especially those that you think may be having some of the risk factors, just call and give them a shout and see how they're doing. If you are having troubles, get way ahead of that, way before it becomes a crisis, way before it becomes something that's much bigger than it may be. Check out the military crisis line. Check out the vetsforwarriors.com. Call another buddy. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe. Remember, wear a mask if you can't social distance. Wash your hands often. And have a great day, everybody. Take care. 2-2. Let's get after this.